easel.
In this module, we're going to integrate two additional concepts that you can use to support your growth initiatives. And the first one is about lagging versus leading indicators. Now, a lagging indicator is more like the output from some system, whereas a leading indicator is more like an input to that system. So if Sam is looking at the statistics from his business from last month, a lagging indicator would be the revenue, which is kind of like the output of that business system for that month. Whereas a leading indicator might be the time allocation that Sam's growth team put into different marketing initiatives that went out there to support the business. You can use correlation between lagging and leading indicators and try to see if there are relationships there. So growth hackers have the ability to change the leading indicators because these are things that you can manipulate, whereas a lagging indicator really is a result of the system, so you can't really manipulate that. So you want to tune your mind especially into the leading indicators. The second concept is about correlation versus causation. So the correlation is basically about the relationship between variables. So it's useful for looking at how a segment would behave on your website. For example, you could say, okay, how does this geographic segment behave when they visit some page on your site? Do they ultimately then take some action? You could make a correlation between that geographic segment, the visits to that page, and then the actions that were taken. Now, causation shows a causal link. For example, this would be the number of shares of some post on a different social media network, and then the amount of reach that that post got. There's a causal link between the number of shares and the reach of that post. Now, you want to be picky about how you use these stats because sometimes you have to really make sure that they're relevant. A famous one is that there is a positive correlation, if you look at the data, between the number of pirates in the ocean, on the sea, and global warming. That is, the degree of warmth on the planet. So is that really relevant? Probably not. You have to be kind of careful. So in summary, a lagging indicator shows the result of some system, whereas a leading metric would show the inputs to that system. Growth hackers have more control over the leading metrics and should focus their experiments there. Correlation is used to show relationships between variables, not causal links.